Hello, Collective. Here's your message for today. You might be at a crossroads. You might see one way and another way. Based on your current transformation, you are coming into a time where it is time to cut your losses in a way. Although this is a clean slate, it feels like there is a lot of past energies circling around the energetic field here. And where this is being filmed is in a place called Blackpool, and I believe we're in England at the moment. However, this is a place where electricity was showcased through lights across the promenade. What I'm trying to say is that this place is known for showcasing electric lights while candles were still being used everywhere else. So there's something about you bringing something new into the world that one day will look like, hello, not very up to date, but at the same time, you are the future, and how you choose to move forward will shock people who are not used to your creation, you, something of that nature. So let's see. Let's see what we can get out of the oracle cards before we dive into the tarot. And I did have to start this reading quite a bit. Quite a few times, I mean. Okay, there's a lot of cards here. I'm actually honestly going to just see the top ones. Pride and sacrifice. Okay, so there is a message coming in about not concealing your true nature. And when there's pride and sacrifice, it feels like you have to risk embarrassment. Or you have to also... Ooh, and this is coming in a very dynamic way through my vessel, through my body. This feels like I'm almost teetering towards the fall. Teetering towards the path forward. And there's something seemingly scary, and the reason why I said that, because it's coming in reverse, but it's the card of exhilaration. So let's see how you can see this. Hold on. Exhilaration. I think it's called Canis Major. Canis Major. Let's leave that here for now. I want to get another one. Exhilaration. There's excitement around. There is this swirling energy, though. There is a swirling energy, and this dog is reaching up towards the moon. Oh my god. So oh my god, this is hilarious. Actually, this feels like the embarrassment is coming through the moon. The moon again, and I just put it away. Okay, clearly there's a lot that wants to come out, wants to be acknowledged. And the thing is that you are the one that decides what there is to acknowledge and what there's not. It's almost like you're telling someone something, and they might have plenty of questions, or they might feel slightly uncomfortable with the truth that you have to tell them. However, this is something to celebrate for yourself, because I think for the first time ever, or at least in a long time, you're actually willing to share something that means the world to you. And for others, it can be a little jarring, it could be a little shocking. It could be a little bittersweet, honestly. What is this? It's like you've been doing something for a long time, for example, and you're deciding to not anymore. And this is how people have known you. This is how people have identified you, right? And have kind of put you in this box. And if you've been watching any of the last readings that I've shared, it's about really being done with the box, allowing yourself to take this step forward, to teeter all the way forward, to really fall forward in a way that's for the highest good of all, which is also your highest good of all, right? Constellation, myth, connection, and creativity. Something very powerful, about community as well, and Venus, love, aid, and fellowship. Okay, so, I didn't put a time limit on this reading, but, I think it's going to be important to at least open up a bit more about, and sunset came out, closure, bittersweetness, yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of things closing out in order for you to continue on this pathway forward. And it's going to, I'm hearing upset some people. We can all look at the same thing and see something different, exactly. I think that's what you're doing, is that you're showing someone or people there's another way to look at this. And, funny enough, this is kind of what's happening here. Even in the craziest of storms that you experience, there is something positive that will come out of it, because it never leaves you where it found you. And just to sum up what the energy of this card, this Venus card is, those closest to you carry you furthest. So it's interesting. There's this dichotomy of sharing something very important and powerful to your closest people, right? And there's a channel coming through about allowing them to have time to adjust, but not being afraid to share where you're at within this. And clearly there's this the sensation of wanting to organize things, or things coming into place, coming into proper alignment, so that your life, your path can transcend and exceed what you've experienced before. So let's get into this. It's so funny because I feel most of the time the way that the cards move when they're not seen in the camera are so smooth, and of course when there's witness of this, it's almost like my hands have a whole new sense of consciousness. So you might be feeling like the Eight of Wands. Oh my gosh, at the core of your reading, this fast moving energy. There's so much going on here. There's so much going on here, and all this constellation. Actually, it looks really similar, this constellation and that one. I wonder if it's the same. 25, you could be 25. And honestly, the people who watch my videos are between 25 and 34. I don't know why that's important to acknowledge, but cool. I see you. And now why is this out here all alone? Venus, love. Ooh, and he's shooting his arrow right at Venus. Lady Venus. Wow, what's going on? Okay, so this is part of your new path, I'm hearing. This is part of your ascension, your further ascension. Ooh. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, cool. Sweet. Yeah, and I'm sorry I didn't show you the Eight of Wands earlier, but I think you got the hint, right? This is what's crossing you. This is you not concealing your true nature. Yes, and my personal biggest aspiration, which feels important to acknowledge, is that I can kind of be an example, right? I do feel even doing this recording, right? It's in a way it could be seen as completely embarrassing. By me? Not so much, because I've already risked so much of myself to be seen to get to this point, and so it just feels like par for the course. And you know what? It's almost like you go through so many things. You go through so many experiences where you have to make a choice, right? To be seen or not to be seen. And when you choose to do it, when you choose to let go of other people's perception of who you are, or who you even think you should be, you rise above, and you might surprise yourself how far you can go, and then you realize how much further there is to truly go. King of Swords, because you have been transforming. You have really been going through this transformation for years. And I am getting that because with the King of Swords specifically, because how many butterflies are in this card. You can see the stone behind him, his throne, are butterflies after butterflies. And what's really cool about this now is that these half moons, these crescent moons, are signifying the strength of your newfound intuition. You're able to, wow, and there's 2 crowns in this, which I've never noticed. This king's wearing his crown, and also there's one, I want to say, that's been defeated. There's a level of self-mastery here that you have really begun to step into. Oh, and we have a peek, a sneak peek, huh? So you might have gotten a sneak peek of something, of a connection here. And this card for me today, it's giving past life connections, past life energies. And I'm looking at this X that marks the spot here on this old cup. And as you can see, I know each one has flowers, and we don't know if there's soil in it. We don't know if they're actually living in there, or they were just picked and placed. But I'm almost getting a feeling like this flower has been growing. Oh, I wanted to say for centuries. Very beautiful. I mean, I'm not sure how much we'll get into this as far as past life connections go. However, there's something very beautiful and very ancient about the wisdom, about the intuition you're really feeling into these days. And the Queen of Swords, divine counterpart of the mind. A little bit hard to grasp today. Whew, yeah. Queen of Swords, delicate as can be, but not afraid to be precise. My favorite analogy really to use these days is that you, when doing something like cutting her losses, she's aware of how sharp her blade is, yet there's this butterfly landing on it, and she's very aware. She's very aware of the gravity of the situation. She could move a millimeter too fast, and well, there's a leg, there's a wing, there's a life. So there's something about you stepping into, and I'm seeing more butterflies everywhere. Her crown is made of butterflies. Her intuition has well, her mind, the power of her own mind has really come into a full evolution. And of course, we're never done growing, right? But there's really something about this transformation that you're experiencing. And people are going to wonder, where'd you get those wings? Where the heck did you get those wings? You look weird. You're embarrassing yourself, collective. It's like, and this is actually coming from a bit of another message that I heard today myself. Shout out to Tiny Turtle Tarot over there, Christy. She said this wonderful analogy about how there's caterpillars all around. And they're looking at this butterfly, and they're wondering, hey, what the heck? What are those? Ha ha ha. And really, they don't realize that they're not supposed to stay caterpillars. And you're like, sorry to break it to you, fellas. For some reason, fellas, maybe. Sorry to break it to you, but you're supposed to keep growing. You're supposed to keep allowing life to shape you and to teach you. So what are you really learning from all of the experiences you've been through? How are you using the energy of disappointment or grief or even, of course, the positive ones too? Love, joy, peace. How are you using these energies in your life? How are you culminating a process of and it's hard to I'm hearing acclimate, I'm hearing alchemize. That's what meant to come out, is that there's a process that you must cultivate. And the light's dimmed too. That actually alchemizes the energy that you've experienced. There's a transformation process within you. And it is up to you to give yourself the opportunity to alchemize all of the experiences you've been through, and the external energy with you, the world around you, the world, and with you, perhaps. I apologize, can't show all of this, but And now I'm like, oh, you know what? It feels, I'm gonna, just because YouTube, I'm going to see what doorway is closing for you. What is it? If there's a doorway that's closed, maybe it's a really pretty door. I don't know. It's funny because all of these cards are positive in a way. So it's like, well, do we want a positive door to close? Maybe there's something that you're leaving behind that you see has potential, but you're consciously doing it because you know what? I gotta move on. And funny enough, here you are standing in the doorway. And maybe the door doesn't have the, oh wow, I was gonna say the door doesn't have a door. The space doesn't have a door. Divine Guardian, do not be nervous today or tonight. The path you are on will lead you just right. Wow. So clearly there's a call for you to continue to move forward, whether you are, peeking or looking back before you head out, or you're choosing to walk into something else. I mean, I know that it's a bit lost on me, this card, and how I'm really supposed to translate it is a bit of a mystery. So maybe this means something more to you than it does to me in the moment. However, there's this ancient energy of you walking through doors, and maybe this is just a further analogy of the world energy, is that you will continue to walk through doors, to look through them, to pass through them, to thank them for all of the things you learned on your way to them. All right, what do you need to know here? What do you need to know? Oh my gosh, hold on. I saw a flipper, the Four of Swords. Okay, so I'm going to take this and we're going to get into it as a little side quest, because the thing that you actually do need to know is that you need to rest. You need to allow yourself to actually process, I'm hearing. And honor what you've been through. Stained glass could be really significant for you. Definitely a lot of that here in the UK, so really beautiful stained glass windows. And there's this idea of looking down, and I think there's a negative connotation with this idea of looking down at something or someone, but at the same time, you don't get that when you go to a funeral or anything like that. You're looking down, but you're in a way you're looking over, or you're looking within. So you might feel as though if coming back to this idea of you sharing some news or some information with someone or some place, you might feel like they might look down on you. But the thing is that they have a choice how to perceive. And there's something that I think perhaps if this is an aspect of yourself that you're looking at, that you feel you might be looking down on, maybe a past version of who you were, there's no need. But what is needed is the delicateness, the grace, the forgiveness that you truly deserve, no matter where you were, in your life. That's what you need to know. And, when I was shuffling it, these kind of came out on the King of Swords, and I don't know what they are, but death, more transformation, and vision. Communication. Total transformation. I mean, if this isn't confirmation, I don't know what would be, but I'll leave that over there just to share how profound this transformation is that you've been going through. And I'm not sure, it's different for every one of you how long you feel like you've been going through this, but for some of you this has been, I mean, I know actually for a fact, someone commented the other day on another video, it's been decades, or at least a decade of going through, of being in situations where there's concealment or there's something of that nature, sneakiness. Right, and you're done. You're done with that. We'll see. What else does collective need to know? Can you clarify this Four of Swords in regard to And I see someone watching me do this in the window on a bicycle. So you could ride your bike a lot. Ooh, the Tower and the Eight of Cups. Oh my gosh, to clarify the Four of Swords. Okay, this is huge. I mean, this couldn't really feel much bigger in energy than this. But what's so dynamic is that the core of the challenge energy that you're experiencing is the Four of Swords. And look, I know you kind of have to know tarot in order to really, I don't know, you don't have to keep up. Like I'm not doing this. One second, let me just reel it in, because there's this reactive energy that's wanting to come through and take over because of this Tower and because of this Eight of Cups, really letting something go and laying it down. Oh, there's almost no words I have for how impactful this energy feels. And I'm seeing these bats, just another symbol of rebirth, of a life well lived. For some reason, that's coming through. As far as bats go, I'm not sure your nearest bat would say, but you know what? Actually, Dracula's coming through, and whoa, okay, this is a whole other level of understanding. However you resonate with the story of Dracula is significant. Whatever you get from that story, whatever you've seen. And actually, recently I did get to see Cynthia Erivo do her one-person show of Dracula. Her one-woman show. Hell yeah. It was beyond. I mean, it was beyond diamonds. It was self-mastery. Talk about self-mastery, That's something else. However, this very significant moment that's wanting to come through so that we can continue to move forward and get out of the mansion if you're, for some reason working for Dracula or something like that. She's saying, the only words she's saying were, "Come with me. Come with me." And by the end of the 3 times that she said it, Van Helsing was the one to end the situation, to end the life of Dracula, the vampire, the energy vampire, right? I mean, talk about how much life you can live and how much self you could master with a life as long as Dracula's. And I'm even seeing this here Death Rider, this death card as an homage to Dracula in a way. And look, you are a warrior. You are a love warrior for being here, for going through this transformation, and you see exactly who and what takes your energy away, and you're able to... What are you able to do? What are you able to do? What is Collective able to do with all of this? Call it out. We'll see it for what it is, to acknowledge it, actually to bring reverence into the situation, to bring sovereignty into this situation. This is a tale as old as time. The Hierophant is familiar with tradition, to say the least. Conformity and non-conformity. There's not one religion that has all truth, but multiple religions carry the same truth. And I'm seeing right out the window some people I recognize. Three of them. I'm getting shared sisterhood, or 3 of Cups energy, celebration. Well, okay, and the 2 of Cups. You unite with what is right. with who you feel and what you know. This feels like more of an inner truth, more of an inner union that you have committed to, you have devoted yourself to seeing through. You know, how much life can I live and live to tell the tale in a way. Excuse me. Confirmation burp, I suppose, but you know, and I'm seeing 52. 52 might be significant. Okay, well, just one more card to clarify the Hierophant and the Two of Cups, please. Ooh, the Seven of Swords. Yep. Okay. So today, specifically, there is this energy of being careful. Of being careful to not step in the old familiar traps. So this reaction energy, I guess it feels like for not for everyone, but this type of energy, I mean, you would normally see this type of energy as a breakup of sorts. I mean, and you place that where you know, and don't take it if it's not resonating, because this could mean a number of things. But how I'm seeing it here is that healing needs to be the priority. And so whatever you need to do to heal from all this is the thing that's going to get you to actually not only become united with yourself again, your true self again, but will actually give you a sense of what, Spirit? What is this? Because the Seven of Swords is definitely... Wow, okay. I didn't even notice this card came out earlier too. Okay, bear with me for a second. This feels very advanced, honestly. And it's amazing. It's amazing work. And sorry, there's this new invigoration that I sense here, this exhilaration about really figuring out what it is you're doing with your life. What do you want to do? Because it really is up to you. Change beckons. The path is shifting. The road leads a new way. Do not be alarmed, as change beckons today. Wow. For sure. I mean, look at that. Another symbol of ancient energy and... And there you go. I mean, there you go. So it feels important. Spirit wanted to clarify this opportunity. And I know I really just kind of almost overlooked it at the beginning. Oh, wow. And the Five of Wands. What do we have here? Okay, so no, I was looking for the third five, and there's only two. I think what you have here, this Ace of Pentacles, there's a bunch of people that have felt like they've been competing for it. But the thing is, it's not a competition. It's not a competition at all. Well, and I want to say it's a competition with yourself. But at the end of the day, there is this sense of grace and self-forgiveness that you need in order to move forward. I just really want to clarify this Seven of Swords. So I'm gonna take this moment to clarify what this Seven of Swords really means, what it's saying, or how it'll tie into all this. Because what are we at? What are we even at right now? 29 minutes. Wow. Okay. 29. Yeah. All right, Spirit, so what do you have for collective to really clarify and embody the rest of this? Wow, okay. The perfection of your life. Wow, okay. So I'll do my best to read this a little bit away from you, but pictured from above the earth, a storm may appear peaceful and elegant, The experience on the ground is more volatile. There is great beauty unfolding in your life now, yet you may be unsettled rather than inspired. Spiritual storms cleanse and revitalize. They release tension, which allows energy to move in new directions. It can be exhilarating, but challenging to navigate. No matter what appears to be or how you are feeling, at the opportune moment, the psychic weather will clear and the sun will shine upon you. You can trust the powerful perfection of your life path unfolding. And that collective is what you are doing. Whenever you feel lost, whenever you feel like you might be looked down upon or seen as less likable or something like that, just know you're this isn't a game. You're here to live your life because we only have our lives, our one life. And you know, I do feel guided just to share you this, but there's this heaven sent that was standing up against the grain below it. Oh, collective, you are heaven sent in so many ways. So many ways. And this should excite you, Ace of Wands. This should excite you to move forward with confidence, knowing that you are more powerful than you ever thought you were. And your luck is changing. Your fortune has arrived. And the wheel is turning. Thanks, collective. I'll see you on the next one.